Hi everybody, this is Odd Samwana, and today I'm going to be reacting to Chainsaw Man chapter 168. So first, I'm just going to say I'm not going to go through the chapter like almost page by page like I usually do because, you know, if you saw my reaction last week, that I'm uncomfortable with it. But I am going to go through it by basically just talking about the characters that were in it and one that technically was in it but we didn't see. So three. But before, let's. I'm gonna just say that I found a very good Twitter thread that basically talked about why Denji is still a victim in this situation. So it's definitely worded in a more coherent and concise way than I ever could just talking. So I'm going to link it in the description in case you're interested in seeing that perspective. But I'm just going to read from it, like two tweets from it, and then you can basically decide from that. Okay, so when Yoru assaults him and he learns into it, that's not what it called consent. To me, that's the act of a serial victim who internalizes all of that pain and blames it all on himself. It's the shape that Denji has been carved into by his pain. Yoru doesn't know that. I don't even think Denji knows. No doubt, Yoru sees Denji leaning back into the kiss as clear reciprocation. Denji likely sees it that way too. Maybe he knows on some level, but we'll just have to see. So that's a bit of a glimpse on regards to what that thread gets into. So, you know, uh, like I said, it is there if you want to see it. Now, there is something I said last week that I feel like I was exaggerating a bit, which is like I said something along the lines of like, can Fujimoto stop making women just sexual predators? Which uh, I didn't go and count how many women are actually in the cast, like overall part one and part two. But four, I don't think it's really like 90% of it. I do think that four is already too many. Uh, but I think that there's definitely a lot more women who haven't sexually assaulted Denji than the ones that have. Um, but yeah, I think I said that in the heat of the moment, and I do still think that Fujimoto's overall uh, cast of women uh, is, uh, you know, it's absent of that very gross flaw. So, yeah. Because I did see some people in like a Discord that I go to and just just discussing things in general that just straight up disregarding Fujimoto's writing on women, and I don't. Yeah, that's not. I don't want to do that. I do think that uh, his writing is still pretty damn good, and I think it's pretty up there. But we're just going to have to see how this pans out. Though Fumiko is still the worst. Uh, okay, so first, because she's the most difficult to talk about, so she's the one that I'm going to talk about first Yoru. So motives. They get pretty confusing. So first, let me actually bring up a page from the chapter. So obviously, the first that I can think of is, power. She wants to feel powerful and make Denji or Chainsaw Man powerless, which is very, uh, you know, something that is basically most of the times, if not all the times, whenever the aggressor in a sexual assault case does that, is to feel powerful. And I think, it gets pretty clear. Let's see. In page 7, when she explicitly says, I don't care, I have no interest in your foolish feelings. All I care about is fighting Chainsaw Man for real. So, yeah. She does not give a shit about how Denji is feeling. She's just doing this for her own gain. So it's like, okay, that is easy to understand. But then we get to the scene where she remembers the scene where she forces a kiss on Denji back in his and Naita's apartment. And then she starts acting, well, unlike herself. For some reason, she forces another kiss onto Denji. And it's very hard to say why. I saw some people say that maybe it's because, like, Asa's past feelings of, like, romantic attraction towards Denji kinda, like, fused with her, which is probably the best that I can think of, because I don't have anything else. But hopefully, Fujimoto will actually, like, have Yoru say something about it, because I don't think we've ever gotten a Yoru internal thoughts. But yeah, that's really going to bother me if we don't get into that. But I can be patient. I can wait. It doesn't have to be right away. What's something else? Oh yeah, obviously Yoru is a devil that has this motivation because she fought Pochita in the past, something that Makima remembered. So she has to be at least older than Makima was during part 1 to remember that. So yeah, she's a devil. Devils are, like, the base nature of devils is to be cruel to humans. So there is that. Like, I was thinking, maybe because of the relationship that she's been developing with Asa, maybe she's starting to care at least about her. But yeah, that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. So yeah, she's a devil through and through. And while it might have seemed to me a little out of the blue, I do think, because no one has gotten this far in regards to, assault. We do see, like, she was willing to claim Denji as her property with the forced kiss. So yeah, she definitely did not. She did not have an issue on going further with that train of thought. Is there something I'm forgetting? Well, yeah, I don't know what it is that caused her to remember that memory, but that, nothing to do with Yoru herself, but just a clear, just a clear indication that Naita is indeed alive. Like, we all kind of knew that, but this is like the actual reminder because if she wasn't alive, then Yoru would have gotten the whole memory. But it was just that one glimpse. What else? What else? Okay, so that's it for Yoru. For Denji, well, I already said, you know, last week, I still do feel kind of tired about Fujimoto just giving him more sexual trauma, especially after chapter 166. Like it seemed, oh, maybe he can start moving forward after this, and then this happens. But maybe this means that, now that he's hit true rock bottom, hopefully this is his rock bottom, then maybe he can start climbing up. But I don't have hope. Now with this, it's pretty important to remember that he doesn't know that Yoru and Asa are two different people. So he might blame this on Asa unless she tells him about her whole situation with Yoru, which is at this point like, what's the point of keeping it secret, So yeah, before it was all like, Asa is the only woman that I wanted to have as a girlfriend that hasn't really harmed me. So that's changing now. I definitely see the relationship after this being destroyed. Maybe not beyond repair, but definitely, you know, I don't see Asa and Denji staying close in any way after this. But Denji's definitely gonna be very confused since we see at the end of the chapter that it seems like Asa is coming in to be in control of the body again. Now for Asa, her relationship with Yoru is definitely also going to be damaged beyond repair. I feel like I would be very surprised if Asa even thinks of forgiveness anytime soon or at all. Considering Yoru did this without her permission, as far as we know, and she was just pretty much helpless to stopping it. It was quite the violation to her autonomy of her body. And yeah, Yoru did this with her body without her consent. So that must have felt pretty disgusting. Like, I really, really hope that Fujimoto emphasizes her reaction in 168. Otherwise, I'm going to be pretty disappointed. But, oh man, waiting for this chapter has been pretty nerve-wracking. So, yeah, let's just get into it. Because, yeah, I don't really have much else to say other than repeating things I said last week without thinking too much about it. So yeah, 168. Let's start. The title is Kiss, Love, Sperm. Oh, we're still with Yoru in control of the body. That's weird. So at the end of the last chapter, she didn't have the scars. Okay, then just on the floor, but sitting down while looking down. Yoru says it's gross and washes her hands on some water in the ground. Don't misunderstand. I only kissed you because it felt good. Is that really the only motivation? Why did you keep... I only kissed you because it felt good. Don't get cocky. He just keeps looking at her with like a lost expression on his face. She's looking back at him, looking at his mouth, and she lowers her face to his face. She did it again, I think? Oh, he asks, do you like me? God, this makes me sick. I don't like you. Just like Makima could do and promise all those things. But, you know, she never cared one bit for Denji. Fumiko got introduced like that, but she does not care one bit for who Denji is. Only the other me likes you. Oh, she's the one explaining this? Her feelings flowed into me. Oh, so she's aware of this. He looks kinda surprised. I'm hungry too. Eat some sushi, perk up, and prepare to fight. Man, I feel... Okay, I guess I'm going to have to wait until seeing Asa's reaction. So, okay, we're just staying in Denji's perspective. One panel of Denji still looking at her. One panel of the alley. And now he's looking down again. Oh, page 8 is just Denji alone in the alley, just hugging his knee. Now Yoru is out of the alley. Oh shit! Okay. It's been so long since we saw Yoru and Asa like together in one panel, visually with two bodies. Okay. Yeah? Okay. Man. I'm so glad, yeah. Man, this is so... Like, of course I want Asa to beat Yoru's ass, but she cannot do it without hurting herself, so there's not much to gain here. So yeah, she basically tries to attack Yoru, but just slams herself into a wall. Ow. Stop it, idiot, Asa. Why did you kiss him? I sensed we'd kissed before. I was only confirming my suspicions. It felt good, didn't it? Okay, let's... Oh, now she's gonna punch Yoru. Well, you know, punch herself, but... Wait, don't you dare! Man, I wish I could find more satisfaction in this, but... You know, two people sharing the same body, it's kinda... Asa is basically hurting herself for this. If only Yoru had a different body, but then if she had a different body, she wouldn't be having this problem. That hurt? That's the idea fucking dumbass. She wants to hurt you. I thought you liked Chainsaw Man. Man, shouldn't you be happy? She's so divorced of people's emotions, huh? Well, specifically Asa's emotions. Kinda a little reminiscent of in the fallen devil arc, where she'd hurt Asa by cutting her hand, and Asa just, she didn't care that it would make it easier and not think about her trauma. But it was just, I just don't want to get hurt. He'll think I'm a slut now. You slut. Oh, she's tearing up. Oh man, these 3 panels of Asa just resting her head on the wall with her eyes closed. I'm too hungry for this. Well, we did have an Asa reaction, but it's not, well, I'm gonna be honest, it's not what I wanted. I wanted her to be disgusted with Yoru specifically because she didn't respect Denji's boundaries and her own boundaries. Like, if Asa wanted to do that, obviously it's because Denji had already told her that he wanted to do that with her in that specific moment. And for Asa to do it, well, she was the one in control. Basically, that it was consented from both parties. But instead, it just seems like, she's just humiliated because Yoru did something sexual with him. Now, this could be because Asa herself can't really understand how those boundaries work. But I don't know. Like, with Denji, it's more believable because he had no one for like 16 years. He only had Pochita. Like, he had no human contact other than his abusive dad and the Yakuza. It wasn't until he went into public safety that he started having any relationships of any kind with other people. So with that, it's like, oh, of course he doesn't understand that people doing that to him is wrong. But here, Asa not understanding it, well, I guess she's also kind of a social outcast. But I don't know. Page 14. So they went back with the group. I see Fami and I see Haruka next to him. He's looking... I don't even know what to say about his facial expression. He's probably still thinking about what happened. And Asa, I think that's Asa, just looking in the background. Or she's in the background, looking also in front of herself. Probably also still thinking about the same thing. And we got to the sushi place. Death by Sushi. Page 15. And we get all the sushis. Huh. The last page is just an establishing shot of the sushi place. Why? Death by sushi. I don't know. Maybe Fujimoto is doing, like a not jarring, but trying to make something in regards to like, oh, they're doing something this mundane after such an event. But other than that, I don't really understand why this is the last page. I'm gonna stay with that thought of how it almost seems ridiculous, but at the same time, it makes sense because both Denji and Asa have no idea what to do other than just keep going with the plan that they had before then. Because, it was all Yoru. Denji and Asa just, they're both victims on Yoru doing that. And she just left. So it's now Asa is the one in control. Although she could still like be around, but we just don't see her. Well, I do believe what Yoru says in regards to like motivations. Although I didn't expect her to outright say them. Like I really expected her to not tell Asa about it. But no, we got it straight away. She told them to Denji and to Asa. Because of course she doesn't think anything of it, as she doesn't understand why either of them feel the way they do for a devil. It's just, she's just unable to see what she did wrong. Like she just sees that Asa liked Denji, so she was like, oh, I don't understand why you're not happy with what I did. Man, I don't know what to say about Yoru. Well, she definitely passed as an innocuous character for quite some time. At the beginning of part 2, she felt like she was gonna be like a big villain, and then that kind of went away for a while after Yuko's death, and she was just there to like being a bit of a support to Asa, and also just to give her someone to bounce off of, and being a bit of a comedic side character. But now, oh, she's a whole villain for sure. She might not understand why, but she might have thought that she was helping Asa in some way. But intentions don't matter when the results made two people feel this hurt. So, yeah, I, mm, I am at least glad that we got to see Asa's reaction this chapter, and that she was as angry as I wanted her to be towards Yoru. Like, legit, bro. It's insane how Yoru was acting like some people that I saw reacting or thinking of the chapter last week. Well, Asa surely is happy about what happened. And then after Yoru says exactly that, uh, Asa just takes control and starts cussing her out. So there's the answer. But yeah, I'll try to analyze this chapter a little bit better next week. But right now, this is all I got. So yeah, if you enjoyed or just found something about my reaction worth talking about, then please leave a like and subscribe. Until next time, see ya.